Okay, how do we start? Shoot, we could play music.
We've got to find a fun song. Okay. Play theme music.
Well, since this is our first episode, we thought we should take some time. I'm reading.
I know.
I forget that we have video going. Okay.
It's fine. I think just knowing people know that this is where we are right now is just fine.
We're just starting.
We don't know what we're doing.
Welcome to No Couch Required. 2 therapists, too many feelings, not enough chill.
This is basically the podcast version of your most validating group chat. If it were run by 2 therapists with zero bullshit, big hearts, and a knack for turning emotional chaos into conversation.
We're unpacking healing, mental health, and all the messiness in between with humor, honesty, and maybe even a little ethically sourced tea from the therapy room. No couch
or copay required. Hi, I'm Kaela Judd, a licensed marriage and family therapist. I specialize in complex trauma and PTSD. And I primarily work with couples navigating relationship conflict and the lasting impacts of childhood trauma using emotionally focused therapy and somatic EMDR.
And I'm Ashley Wright, a licensed clinical social worker. I also specialize in complex trauma and PTSD, and I work with individuals healing from childhood, relational, and sexual trauma to help them reconnect with themselves in a grounded, embodied way.
Before we dive in, a quick disclaimer. Even though we're therapists, this podcast isn't therapy, and it's not a replacement for professional mental health care. Listening doesn't create a therapist-client relationship.
If you're struggling, we encourage you to reach out to a licensed mental health professional in your area. And if you're in crisis in the U.S., you can dial or text 988 for immediate support.
Okay, let's get into today's episode.
We did think it would be a good idea to introduce ourselves a little bit as humans, though, before we get into all the podcast content, all the episodes.
Yeah, I'm always kind of curious about people's stories a little bit. And I think about some podcasters right now at the top of my head and being like, I don't know this person's story, you know, like as a therapist that listens to therapists, I'm like, oh, they have some sort of background in that, but I don't actually know their story.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of nice just to give everybody kind of a little snapshot of who we are.
I think the whole point of it is to make this feel really accessible and very relatable, and like throw in some professional knowledge and information along the way.
I mean, I think part of the reason why we wanted to start this was to have fun, right? Like, we like to talk about these things. Why not just put it out there for other people to hear and listen to? If you like it, that's great. If you don't, we'll see you later.
It's also the only way that we ever get to hang out.
Yes. This has been such a great excuse to, like, because we work. We have to work. And so
and have like a family and like personal life. And we might spend the first like 45 minutes of us getting together to record talking about anything else, but like it's fun.
In particular today.
That's okay.
Yeah. So it's fun. It's fun for us to get to hang out.
Yeah. You kind of had really the vision for the podcast, and you approached me about doing this with you. So do you want to talk a little bit about what your like vision was and why you wanted to start the podcast?
I think it's just what we've already said.
Okay.
Like I like to talk and I like to share. And I think that I do have some smart things to say.
Yeah.
And I want to share that, but I didn't want to do it alone. Yeah. Like, I have wanted to do a podcast for a while. I told you that. Mm-hmm. And at one point, I remember, I think it was like a year in between the first time I brought it up and then us actually doing it. I did it in such an awkward way. I don't know if you remember.
I don't recall that.
I was like, I think I said to you something like, I like you. Do you want to do a podcast with me?
It's like dating. It's like friendship dating of like, I think I like you. Do you want to do this again sometime?
Except it was a podcast and you were like, yeah. Like, I don't know. Your response was kind of like, I don't even remember. It was bad.
I
feel
like I was into it.
Like,
I had thought about a podcast before too, which is why I already had like a name in the back of my mind that.
Well, I mean, the second time we brought it up, there was a first time. There was a first time that I brought it up with you, and then we didn't do anything. It was like a year later that we kind of reconnected because we kind of connected. We went to breakfast, and then things kind of fizzled. We were busy.
Yeah.
And then you reached out to talk to me about a consultation.
Yeah.
And then things just, as it does with ADHD, here we go.
Okay.
So the first time I brought it up to you, it was like, I like you.
Well, I like you too.
Do you want to like do that with me?
If I was hesitant about it was probably because I felt imposter syndrome about it
Sure.
and like nervous. No, I've
It's
been
fine.
excited about it.
I just figured all of the timing is just the way that it is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, as we, planned out the podcast, we really talked a lot about wanting to normalize these conversations and create a space that we could have friendly conversations, but also like be really real and genuine and vulnerable and like messy.
Yeah.
And obviously we're therapists. And so we have this like technical and professional knowledge, but we're also humans and want to bridge that gap and be really genuine about it.
When you say that, I think about my clients sometimes that like they learn stuff and they'll like tell me like, oh, I'm sharing this with other people and they're learning from me. And sometimes they're like, is that okay? And I'm like, yeah, please go out and give away the information because, I think that when you impact yourself, you impact everybody around you. You can lift people up that way. I think I've loved the idea of a podcast in order to kind of do more of that.
Yeah.
So, and I just want to have fun.
Agreed.
I think that be able to provide information in a way that people get to kind of come in and we talk about this in the intro that it's like a group chat, and I'm like, I want that. Like, let's bring people in, let's have fun together and laugh about life.
I love that. I'm so excited. So Kaela, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit about like you as a person?
Okay. This is okay. We'll see if I can do this. This is something I've been on like self-discovery in the last few years, as I've gone through my healing journey. So it's always kind of like weird to sort of share who I am as a person. But I mean, I like to hike because we live in Southern Utah. Something that I've kind of known about myself, but that I've really been able to lean into more is I love plays and musicals.
Stop.
Oh yeah.
Me too.
My Christmas present every year now is 2-a-con tickets.
I love that.
And we go and do that several times a year. So I love it. If I had maybe more stability at home and got to do some of those things that really interested me, I would have been a thespian for sure.
Oh my gosh.
I would have been full into that. I love that kind of stuff. I think it's fun. I told you the other day, here's a little quirky thing about me. I talk to my kids in accents all the time. So we read Harry Potter together, and the kids definitely would rather have me read that book to them over their dad because their dad just reads it. But I use the accents and I try different like voices and stuff. It's really fun.
So fun.
And I said to my son last night as we were reading, I was like, I should probably learn some more accents, If I can hear a little bit of it, I can kind of start talking anyway. I think that's a funny part about me.
I love that about you.
So I am an LMFT. I'm a marriage and family therapist. I use emotionally focused therapy. So maybe I can kind of do a quick short timeline of me. I decided to become a therapist after I read Gottman's book, The 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work. I had actually worked at Snow College in Ephraim, Utah in the counseling center for several years as kind of like just a peer mentor. And, I did some stuff in the office. And the therapist there had suggested to me that I go back to school. I was like uber pregnant at the time, I think. And I was like, I don't know. I had seen him like abandon a shopping cart at Walmart one time because I found out later there was somebody in a crisis at the school and he had to like leave. And I was like, that is not for me. But when I read Gottman's book, I was like, and then I found out that I could become certified in Gottman therapy. I was like, oh my gosh, here it is. This is what I want. And so I just kind of hit the ground running and got into school and stuff. And that's shifted over time and probably a conversation for another episode.
Sure.
The difference between what drew me to emotionally focused therapy versus Gottman therapy. We can talk about that another time. But that book really set me on the trajectory of wanting to be a marriage and couples therapist.
Very cool.
Why don't you go ahead and share with us about you?
Yeah. It is kind of uncomfortable to just like introduce yourself. It's like those weird icebreakers in a new group that's like, tell us like 3 things about yourself or 2 truths and a lie.
Well, you're just like your brain like freaks out. And you're like,
know what to say. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I feel like I identify with what you're saying about kind of like finding yourself in a way the last few years. And kind of for me, I feel like I'm finding my way back to my creative side, music and art. Not an artist. any sense of the word, except that I sometimes enjoy playing with watercolor. I like coloring books, right? Like I've had this like artistic creative side that I haven't really leaned into for most of
Mm.
my life. It's been fun to find my way back to music. I really like singing. So it's been fun to do like the sound healing certification and offer sound baths because I sing sometimes during those.
Oh,
And
that's really
it's
cool.
like a fun way to bridge like music and creativity, but in not like a structured way,
Yeah.
in just like a free flowing,
You get to kind of put it into this
intuitive
career
way.
path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been fun.
So what brought you into wanting to become a therapist?
It's kind of something I figured out really early on in life, actually. By the time I was a junior in high school, I was taking a
Wow.
psychology class and just like fell in love with it. So I had always been like the friend that listened, right? And kind of just friends with people who weren't always like popular. Sometimes I feel like a lot of my friends and like people I've known throughout my life have had a lot of trauma or, been in abusive experiences or some amount of like neglect or whatever that it really opened my mind to like, oh, people come from different like backgrounds. And it was always really satisfying to like be able to be there for them and just like
Yeah.
listen and be supportive. So felt like a really natural path there. So yeah, once I found psychology, I was actually planning on majoring in fashion design or interior design. And I had my sights set on like living in New York City.
You say these things. These are the moments, Ashley. These are the moments where we say things to each other. And it's like, we would have been best friends in high school. I would have been like, you want to move to New York with me?
Yeah, I would
I've
have
got
been like,
that on my shirt right now.
I'm in. Let's do it. Let's go to Paris, right?
Oh my
Let's go to
gosh.
Fashion Week in Paris. Like that still actually sounds really fun. But yeah, once
Then you just got back from Thailand too,
I
right?
did.
Like
I
we're
did.
very similar in that like I think we both love sort of the rugged stuff.
Yeah.
But it sounds like we both are just like, give me all the pretty
There's
things.
fancy. Yeah. No, I always say I have very like high maintenance taste. Like if I'm going to pick out a piece of jewelry, it's always going to be the most expensive one. And I won't know the price, but the thing that I'm drawn to is always the most expensive version. So anyway, yeah, once I found psychology, that was kind of where I was headed. But then I was steered by a mentor towards social work. It was a little better fit for me. It's a little more person oriented and social justice oriented. I graduated high school and went straight into a bachelor's of social work. And yeah, I sometimes wish that I'd like taken some time to like take other classes or explore other things.
It just was such a fit.
Yeah.
It clicked. It's so cool.
I got started being a therapist pretty early on in life. I graduated with my master's and I was 24.
Good job.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
How old are you now?
33.
That's surprising to me, like, because it feels like you're, I don't know, in my mind, probably because I hadn't been seeing you on Psychology Today or something, I'm like, oh, she just got licensed. But you've been licensed for years.
No, because I had kids. I took some time off of work. So I didn't license as quickly as I could have.
I see.
So I got licensed in 21. Licensed. I had like all except for maybe 400 of my hours.
So we basically got licensed at the same time.
Yeah.
I got fully licensed in 22, I think.
Yeah.
I graduated in 2020.
That's funny. So anyway, I feel like I've just always been something of a therapist in my life. So it just felt like a really good fit. So now I'm trying to figure out how to find fun things in my life and not only be obsessed with therapy and work.
It is kind of hard. I also feel that obsession. It's like those are the books I read.
Yeah. It's kind of hard for me to like break out of that and get into like a fiction novel. It can be really refreshing when I can force myself to do it.
Yeah, I think that's happened with me just reading to my kids.
Yeah. Kind of have to force it sometimes. Yeah. Do you want to talk about how we met? Since we kind of already talked about it.
Ashley asked already. She couldn't remember. And so we had a whole conversation. We're like, oh, we got to stop. We got to.
Probably should have waited and recorded this.
We met because you were hearing things about me as a couples therapist. Good things about me. You. So you were referring people to me. And I checked you out on Psychology Today. I'm like, who is this person? Because I got a couple of referrals from you and I was like, oh my gosh, she does somatic therapy. I like that. And so I started sending you people. And then finally, I can't remember if it was you or I that finally reached out and was just like, hey, we should probably meet up and like get to know each other a little more. So we met up for breakfast.
Had a great chat.
You were in a car accident that morning before you got there.
No, on my way home.
On the way
when I was leaving.
I was like,
oh my gosh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, on your way home. And so we had a nice chit chat and we like I mean, you in that first meeting, like, bore your soul to
I
me.
had so much going on in my life right then that poor Kaela, like, got the actual, like, most emotional, like, word vomit from
Oh my
me.
gosh, it was so great. I was like,
I was trying so
tell me
hard to,
about
like,
it.
be professional and, like, but I couldn't. I just can't. I can't. I am
Well,
not the person who can, like, really hold back very
maybe,
well.
but I also feel like there was a good vibe.
Yeah.
I don't think that you would have shared the things that you shared with me if there wasn't that.
Yeah,
and
it's
clearly we
true.
have found our way back to
Clearly.
each other.
No, it was good. And there was some time between that and, like, when we reconnected.
Yeah.
But yeah, once we got Marco Polo going.
Oh my gosh, that was the end
Yeah.
of the beginning of the end
Beginning
or
of the end,
something.
whatever it is. Here we are. But yeah, I feel like us doing this podcast together is a good fit because we have enough in common in our like personality, our approach, our work, our life, but also you focus on couples and do EFT and I focus on individuals. And so there's enough difference that we can bring some different insight and perspective to whatever we talk about.
I'm looking forward to it. Like some of the stuff that you do, I've like the sound baths and the yoga, and like you definitely have more of a grasp and hand on the somatic work that I've keep wanting to sort of touch more of, and I haven't quite had the time and things. And so I'm looking forward to learning from you.
Well, I've already been learning so much from you about like relational work and
by the time
approaching like complex trauma in a different way.
Yeah. I think I will convert you.
No, you already have. It's done. And done. Sold. You got me.
I have to make you into a couples
If you were like
therapist.
offering a training, it would be like, take all my money, please. Teach me everything.
That would be funny.
Good.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
You'd be sitting in the back making faces at me, I'm sure. It'd be so funny.
I will. When you finally do put together a training, I will be the first one there.
We'll
first one signed up.
We'll see about that. Okay.
I think that's
us.
That's us.
So to kind of leave this looking forward, we're really excited to talk about several things. We've got a podcast that talks about sort of the differences between therapists. Like, you know, not all therapists are created equal. You know, you don't want to just go to any therapist. There are good therapists and there are,
we can say it,
disappointing therapists.
Yeah, that's a nice way to put it, I think.
Poor therapists.
Just like any
outright
profession.
Unethical therapists. And we want to help you really figure out, what does that mean? Who are those people? How do I find somebody that's really going to work for me? And then we're going to talk about somatic therapy, EFT. I mean, those are kind of the things that we've got on our queue, if you will.
Yeah.
What other things are we going to talk about in our podcast here?
We have a massive list of ideas. And actually, it was the funniest thing because of the jet lag from being home from Thailand this week. I woke up at like 2 a.m. and immediately was like, oh my gosh, we should do an episode about hobbies. I was like, I got to write this down.
Did you put it in the list?
No, I haven't because I had the
We're
thought.
We're going to have to do this after.
Yeah. We have so many ideas, but we really want to also open this up to like listener questions and things that you guys want to listen to or things you want us to talk about.
We'll probably do that regularly on our Instagram where you can, you know, either DM us or we'll put up some polls or blank box things. What are those called?
Question boxes.
Question boxes for you to like put in suggestions or ask us questions that you want us to answer. We also have plans to bring on other therapists and other professionals who have something to say.
Or, people with specialties we want to know more about or let you guys know more about.
I think it'll be exciting, perhaps, even on a local level, like to bring in some local therapists that we would love to have a voice in what they're doing and for our listeners to get to know them.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We hope you guys stick around.
Stick around, come listen, come find out all the things.
Yeah. Subscribe.
Come have fun with us.
Follow us on Instagram. It'll be great.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. That needs to be the signature ending.
Oh, I was thinking that right as we did it.
We did that the same last time.
Thanks for listening to No Couch Required. We'd love to keep the conversation going with you. Connect with us on Instagram at No Couch Required Pod and let us know your thoughts. If you have questions or topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes, send them our way. We'd love to hear from you. And if you're enjoying the podcast, please make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And consider leaving us a review. It really helps others find the show. We'll see you at our next episode.